images just in of Jimmy Kimmel, less than 24 hours after his show was suddenly pulled from ABC after a threat from Trump's administration. And tonight, Trump making it clear he is not done. The president is now threatening more networks.
They give me only bad publicity or press. I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. It will be up to Brendan Carr.
All right, he mentioned Brendan Carr. We're going to hear in a moment from another FCC commissioner who serves with Carr. She says the FCC doesn't have the authority to do this, but the harsh reality tonight is that they didn't actually even need the authority to get Trump what he wanted, silencing comedian Jimmy Kimmel. If you are surprised at what has happened, maybe it is because you took the president, the vice president, and the chairman of the FCC at their word when Trump came into office.
If you don't have free speech, you don't have a country.
Thank God we have a president now who believes in free speech.
Free speech, diversity of opinion, those are the bedrocks of democracy.
That last person to speak, of course, was Brendan Carr, the very same man who made this threat this week after Kimmel's comments regarding Charlie Kirk.
They have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. But frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Threats obviously don't get more clear than that. And that threat is a real about face from a man, Brendan Carr, who in December of 2023 wrote, and I want to quote him, "Free speech is the counterweight. It is the check on government control. That is why censorship is the authoritarian's dream." Okay, so then what sparked Carr's sudden threat against ABC over Kimmel? It was this.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
So that's what it was, from what Carr was saying. That's what it was that Kimmel said that was worth a threat to ABC, get rid of Kimmel or else. And sure, free speech is free speech. This is America. But Kimmel's words aren't some hate-filled diatribe. They're frankly not even this.
Now you're going for the kill shot. The kill shot with an ambush, deadly, because he doesn't see it coming. This is when you say, Dr. Fauci, you funded risky research at a sloppy Chinese lab, the same lab that sprung this pandemic on the world. You know why people don't trust you, don't you? Boom! He is dead! He is dead! He's done!
That was Fox's Jesse Waters in December 2021, trying to be funny. A month later, Waters got promoted. And after the brutal attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, in which he was attacked by a man with a hammer, Pelosi's skull was fractured, he was in the hospital. There was a lot of really ugly rhetoric and conspiracy theories coming from the right at the time.
At 82 years old, and comes home to find out that her husband's playing hide the hammer with a Black Lives Matter guy?
Well, of course we can't confirm or deny your suggestion.
It's MAGA extremists behind this because they always attract illegal alien nudists who live in school buses who think they're Jesus Christ. Hell.
And there was also Don Jr. He posted this image after Pelosi was attacked. Got my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume ready, right? And you see the link there to the sexual jokes that you heard before. And Elon Musk, 2 days after he bought Twitter, posted a conspiracy theory about the attack on Paul Pelosi. There is a tiny possibility there might be more to this story than meets the eye. He linked to an article that claimed the attack was the result of a drunken sexual encounter with a male prostitute. Now, of course, none of this was based in fact. The government, though, didn't try to get people fired because, after all, free speech, tasteless, gross, crass, awful, so what? Free speech. So what is this silencing Kimmel all about? Because it's not about that one thing he said this week. It's not. I mean, after CBS announced it was canceling Stephen Colbert's show, Trump predicted Kimmel would be next. Quite simply, Trump has been a bit obsessed with Kimmel.
Kimmel has no talent.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel's a loser. I saw Jimmy Kimmel said that his show's practically dead because nobody that likes Trump will watch.
Jimmy Kimmel.
That guy's terrible.
Those clips of Trump go back 7 years. And tonight, Trump, using the power of the office of the President of the United States, finally got what he wanted. And I want to start with Elizabeth Wagmeister in Los Angeles. She has been breaking so much news on this story. And Elizabeth, what is the latest you're learning tonight?
Hey, Aaron. So I am hearing really how this went down at Disney and ABC. And, you know, everyone that I am talking to in Hollywood is really just horrified over this entire situation. They cannot believe that Jimmy Kimmel has been pulled off the air. But what I am hearing is that ABC is very hopeful. They really want to figure out a path forward. They love Jimmy. They want Jimmy to come back. But with the threats from the FCC, this is a real threat to have stations that are pulling Jimmy's show across the country. They just felt like they had no choice, that in order to protect both Jimmy and the ABC brand, that they felt the best path forward was to preempt the show indefinitely. Now, I am hearing that the decision ultimately was made by Bob Iger and Dana Walden. I hear that Dana Walden has a great relationship that goes way back with Jimmy Kimmel. She was the one who made that call to him. Now, after Jimmy's comments on Monday and Tuesday during his show were getting heat from the right, that is when this got onto Disney's radar. But again, it was when Brendan Carr started to make those remarks and making threats against ABC. And it is when Nexstar started to say, we are refusing to air the show, that this really escalated and became a major issue. One source explained to me that this is much bigger than just Jimmy Kimmel's show, that this is about all of ABC and really protecting all of ABC and all of its employees. Now, I do want to note, Aaron, you said that this is not just about those comments, and that is what I am hearing. In fact, I will finish on this final point. Trump took to his Truth Social today, and I believe we have that post, and he actually went all the way back to the Oscars from 2 years ago when Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about him on stage, and Trump seized on that. So this is a long-standing history of jabs and a public feud between Trump and Jimmy Kimmel. Everyone that I'm talking to in Hollywood said it's not just about the comments this week, it's about years and years of insults. Aaron?
Elizabeth, thank you so much. Out front now, FCC Commissioner Ana Gomez. And Commissioner, I appreciate your time. So President Trump today comes out, you heard him. He suggests that networks' licenses, you know, their right to actually broadcast over the air, could be pulled and revoked if they air mostly negative coverage of him. So if he comes out and says 5 untrue things and they call out 3 of them, then that's on them. I mean, it's unclear exactly what he's saying, but he did say it will be up to Brendan Carr, obviously chairman of the FCC. Is this something the FCC could actually do?
Well, first of all, we don't license the networks. We license local broadcasters. So there is no license to pull for the networks. The local broadcasters get some programming from the networks. But second of all, we are governed by the First Amendment and by the Communications Act, which prohibits us from censoring broadcasters. So no, we cannot pull local broadcasters' licenses simply because they air content that he does not like.
Okay, so then I guess the question is, where do we go from here? I mean, have you spoken with Carr since last night?
I've been in New York today, as you know. The thing that we need to understand is that the FCC cannot, it does not have the authority, it does not have the ability, it does not have the constitutional right to take action against broadcasters because the administration doesn't like what they're saying, because they don't like anyone that pushes back against them. So what you see are just threats, but the threats are the point.
And the threat, in this case, the threats worked, right? Do it the easy way or the hard way, or, you know, I guess the sensible threat is we're not going to approve your merger at the FCC.
That's exactly the point. because we don't have the authority to do this, because it's against the law, we would not be able to actually take that final action. Because on appeal, the FCC would be wrong on the facts and the law if, in fact, it retaliated against the networks, or, I mean, the broadcasters, the local licensees, because of what they air. So the threats are the point, and the capitulation is so disappointing, because what we are doing is eroding little by little the freedom of the press, the freedom of speech, on which our democracy relies. We need the fourth estate to push back against the likes of me, to hold me and the government to account.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.